Hey everyone, it's Casey McKeown with KMAC Realty Group. I'm a Marine turned real estate investor and agent in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. If you're new to the channel, I started uploading videos about 6 months ago when I brought a full-time videographer on staff. A lot of my videos are centered around real estate and just my life in general. Also on top of that, a lot of my videos are educational videos involving real estate, whether it be just learning how to buy your first home, whether it means to occupy a multifamily and utilize your VA loan, or other potential investment opportunities. The last 6 months have been a fun ride being able to upload all this content to YouTube. I'm excited for 2021 and all the content that I'm going to be bringing to this channel. If you aren't subscribed, make sure to subscribe and follow along. If you do have any video ideas, make sure to leave them down in the comments below. I'm probably going to be uploading anywhere between 30 and 40 videos this year, so make sure to leave a comment down below if you do want me to cover a subject. For the rest of this video, I'm going to be doing just a short Q&A. I've had a handful of questions coming from people off of YouTube as well as off my Instagram. If you do have any other questions that I don't cover today, make sure to leave them down in the comments, as well as any kind of goals that you may have for 2021. At the end of this video, I'll make sure to share my 2021 goals, and that's not just in real estate or investing, but also YouTube as well. In the summer of 2017, I moved from San Antonio to Dallas to take a new teaching and coaching job. I had no idea what real estate would become. All I knew was I was a newly licensed real estate agent and I wanted to start investing. Fast forward to the start of 2021, and here I am having helped over 200 families invest, purchase, or sell their home in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and I've been able to accrue over $2 million in real estate. All right, so the first question comes off of Instagram, and it states, what was an unexpected challenge you faced when house hacking? I would say the biggest unexpected challenge when I was house hacking a single family was the roommates at the end of the day. The first situation, I had 2 new roommates move in. One actually just did not pan out probably within the first couple months, and I decided to move them out shortly after. And the next roommate actually didn't work out too well either. I think he wound up moving out within 6 to 9 months. The second stint of roommates in this single family house hack was actually one individual. That one individual was planning on renting one room and the other as an office. To be honest, it wasn't too bad of an experience with that second stint or that second roommate, but at the end of the 6-month lease that he had to move out. So I would say the biggest advice that I have for people that are looking to house hack is just really look into the individuals that you're going to be having live with you, or at least have an escape clause or some kind of option out of a lease if things just don't work out. The second question that I got is, are Airbnbs allowed in Texas if you don't live in the home? So the answer to this question is going to vary by property. And I think the individual that asked this is not local to the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I know there are a lot of travel destinations that have a lot of restrictions on Airbnb, whether it be Florida, California, Hawaii. Locally here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area though, the only real restriction we have on Airbnbs, as far as what I'm aware of, is the city of Arlington and anything that's surrounding the Cowboy Stadium. Now the rules and regulations with Arlington are you have to be a certain distance away from the Cowboy Stadium in order to run an Airbnb. It used to be the entire city of Arlington had Airbnbs throughout it, but now they're only allowing a certain radius around that stadium to allow Airbnbs. Now, there are a lot of opportunities here locally in the Dallas-Fort Worth area to Airbnb, whether it means you just purchase a property near some kind of location that may be prime and rent it solely out on Airbnb. There are also other opportunities like living in a front house and Airbnb-ing a guest house, or living in a house and maybe Airbnb-ing out a shared space like a shared room. So to recap, are you allowed to Airbnb a house here locally in the Dallas-Fort Worth area if you don't live in it? The answer is most likely going to be a yes, but it obviously is going to depend on the property. Another question that I got asked was, have I tried a BRRRR method locally here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area? If you're unfamiliar with the BRRRR strategy, it's buy, rehab, rent, refinance, and repeat. So essentially what it's trying to do, or trying to have you do, is buy a property really and refinance out at the end of the day with really no money down into the property. Obviously there's a little bit of a risk here. I've actually had a couple clients pursue a BRRRR strategy, and most of the time it turns out well, but locally in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, there's just not a lot of opportunity, in my opinion, to complete the BRRRR strategy. I would say the biggest success for people that are completing the BRRRR method are going to be individuals that are adding bedrooms or adding bathrooms or potentially adding square feet. The reason being is because you're going to get so much additional value when you start to add square feet, bedrooms or bathrooms. If you just come in and remodel a house, the numbers in the Dallas-Fort Worth area right now just aren't making sense. I do actually have one property in probate that I'll be purchasing hopefully at the beginning of 2021 this year. I'll be posting a ton of that content on this channel. That's going to be a true BRRRR method. The numbers make total sense, and it's about 30 minutes south of Dallas. So it's a little bit away from everything, but it's a property that I'm looking to refinance out and probably not owe any money on. The next question I got asked, and honestly it's one of the questions I get asked the most, is how do I start getting into real estate investing? So obviously this question for myself, I got started using my VA loan, purchasing a duplex, living in one side, renting out the 2 rooms, and then also renting out the other side. At the end of the day, I was basically having all of my mortgage paid and then some with the roommates on my side, so it was not costing me a dime to own a property. Now, obviously, every entry into real estate investing is going to differ from one person to another. You could easily purchase a property in a house hacket or purchase a multifamily home in a house hacket. That's probably going to be the easiest way of entry for anyone. It's going to be probably the lowest percent down. With a VA loan, you're talking 0% down. An FHA loan, you're talking 3.5% down. The other opportunity with getting into investing is putting 20% down on a single family as a true rental. Now, most people probably don't have 20% down to go put down on a property. One of the biggest tips I have for people that are getting into investing is just try to minimize your expenses. The biggest expense that most people have is going to be their rent. If you're able to take that rent and deduct that rent and use it towards a mortgage and have potentially roommates or another side of a multifamily cover your expense, which is a mortgage, that's going to eliminate whatever you potentially are paying already now in rent. For instance, when I lived in San Antonio, I was paying about $1,200 a month for a 1-bedroom apartment. I then moved to Dallas and bought a duplex. I went from spending $1,200 a month to making, I think, $400 to $600 on my duplex. At the time when I was a teacher, being able to swing an expense of $1,200 to a $400 to $600 profit was substantial. It's definitely something that was able to help me purchase properties even quicker and allow myself to get into real estate full-time even quicker. All right, the last question I got is off of YouTube, and it's referring to real estate agents. I get this a lot, actually. It's from another real estate agent asking when they should go full-time. I actually sponsor a lot of lunches here locally at a real estate school, and I get this question a ton. First and foremost, obviously every single person is different. For instance, myself, I went about 5 or 6 months before I even considered leaving my profession. And then it took me another 4 or 5 months to actually be full-time. So I was a licensed real estate agent for about 12 months before I went full-time. However, a majority of the people that are getting a real estate license are going into real estate full-time, and I'll be honest with you, it's probably the reason they don't succeed. So think about a restaurant. If you're opening up a family-owned restaurant, the first day or the first week or the first month, maybe the first year, you're more than likely not going to get bombarded with a ton of traffic. However, if you go open up a Starbucks on the corner of a busy street, day one, I guarantee you that Starbucks is going to be lined with people and you'll be busy regardless. The reason is brand. At the end of the day, Starbucks has had a tremendous amount of opportunity in years and years of building its brand. Being a real estate agent and owning your own real estate company is the same exact way. It takes some time to build your brand, and it takes time to build reputation for people to want to trust you, because real estate transactions oftentimes are going to be some of the largest transactions that people may have in their life. So that is it in regards to the Q&A. If you have any other questions, make sure to leave them down again in the comments. I'll make sure to reply to every single comment or every single question that you guys may have. I'll also continue to do this if this is something you guys like. But going into 2021, my goals, I'm gonna go ahead and explain to you just what I'm hoping to have accomplished at the end of this year. In 2021, I really want to duplicate what I was able to do in 2020 here locally in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. I was able to help 75 families buy, sell, or invest locally here. So that's just my local business goal with my real estate company. I have larger goals with YouTube. Currently speaking, I have about 224 subscribers. My intent is to gain 2,000 subscribers this year, so I would love by year's end to be sitting about 20 to 50. We will see what happens there. When it comes to my investing goals is to be able to purchase 2 more properties this year. That would put my portfolio about 2.5 or maybe a little over 2.5 million. And my personal goals are just to be able to continue to be in shape, go into the gym, and just work on my diet a little bit more. That's been probably the biggest pitfall this past couple of years, is just I'm not very consistent whatsoever with the profession that I'm in and what I do. It's really, really hard to be able to be consistent with a diet. So all in all, in 2021, my goals are definitely just to maintain maintain the business that I've been able to do, but really build my YouTube channel. I do appreciate all of those people locally here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area that I've been able to help and will continue to help for years to come. And I also appreciate you guys that are watching these videos. I'm going to be making a ton more content in 2021 just to give you broad idea. Just looking at my board over here, we've got a couple video ideas that will be coming out in the next coming weeks. Will be a step-by-step guide of how to use your VA loan. Now, I know not everyone is a veteran, but I've gotten a ton of veterans that have subscribed to this channel that want just a broad step-by-step guide how to use their VA loan, because a lot of people haven't realized how much potential you have using your VA loan. Another video that will be coming out in the next couple weeks will be a breakdown of my portfolio. So the $2 million that I have in real estate, being able to break down the numbers on those and just show you what kind of income is being generated by those properties. And another video that I've been wanting to do for a while is just the story of me going from a $50,000 a year teacher salary to making over $500,000 a year in real estate. Once again, if you have any other video suggestions, please make sure to leave them down in the comment section below. I'll make sure to do as much video content this year as possible. Thanks again for watching, guys. Make sure to subscribe if you have not already, and stay tuned for the next video.